What's up, y'all? I hope all is well with y'all today. Today, you guys, we're going to be discussing people pleasing because people pleasing is one of the hindrances of the chosen one's anointing. So we're going to go over that because it's okay to want to serve others, but you don't want to be a people pleaser where you begin to put everyone else's needs before yours. And a lot of times, the reason we do that is because of a place of where it stems from the narcissistic abuse that you've endured, oftentimes by the narcissistic family that you came from, where you were not seen nor heard unless you were doing exactly what other people wanted. So now you operate in that continually, even as an adult. It still plagues you. And we take those empathic ways about us, and because we understand how it feels to be another person, to be sad, to be neglected, we understand that. So we'll take on those traits and try to save everyone else, and we end up getting hurt in the end because these same people would not care to help you in your time of need, like you're trying to help them by having that savior complex. So oftentimes being a people pleaser will lead you to getting used and abused, which most of us have felt that. So it's okay to want to help others, but you're not here to please everybody. You're here to only please the Lord, not everybody else. We're here to serve others because as the chosen ones, that is our job to do. God selected us here to serve other people through righteousness, not through just being nice, want to not rock the boat, not want to walk on eggshells for everybody just to make sure they happy, but yet you're suffering inside. And many chosen ones, you went through that since a child, and now even still endure that now as an adult because you get into relationships with highly narcissistic people, if not fully blown narcissists, malignant narcissists, which means they fully are operating in demonic worship, which means they're fully operating in allowing the demonic realm to really use them, and which is why they're carrying out their wicked acts on you that is causing you pain and suffering. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to go over the difference between being nice and kind today. I got a list of things that we're going to do the difference between being nice and being kind. And of course, I'm going to start with the definitions. We're going to go over the etymology of these words to see what the root meaning is. So the etymology is just the study of the origin of words, what their original meaning was years and centuries ago before it had begun to change over time. Because as humans, we give words meaning. We give words meaning. And over time, it can change. And we know even in the English language, one word has several meanings. And that's just what it is. So we're going to go over that. And once you understand where the root of nice is, you're going to realize exactly why you don't want to be nice, baby. We're here to be kind, not nice. Okay? So without further ado, let's read it. So we're going to talk about the etymology of it. So the word nice is an adjective, just like the word kind is. So, normally nice means to be pleasurable, agreeable, likable. Just you want to please people. Honestly, it's just like a satisfactory type of trait. You want to satisfy everyone. But let's just get into it. So it says in the late 13th century, the word nice meant foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless. From Old French nice in the 12th century, it meant careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, foolish, silly. Do we want to be any of those words? No, we do not, ma'am or sir. So, and it says it's from the Latin word niches. So from Latin word niches, it means ignorant, unaware, literally not knowing. That's what ignorant is, not knowing, dumb. You don't know. So from ni means not. From pi root ni, not. Okay. Plus the stem of sire, to know. So it says the sense of development has been extraordinary even for an adjective. From timid to faint-hearted in the pre-1300s, to fussy and fastidious in the late 14th century, to dainty and delicate in the I guess earlier 14th century, or it just say C 1400, to precise and careful in the 1500s, preserved in such terms as a nice distinction and nice and early, to agreeable, delightful in 1769, to kind and thoughtful in 1830. So over all of these years, it has went from meaning foolish, which really that's what it still means. Because when we get to going over this stuff, you're gonna realize it's very foolish to be nice. That's the root meaning is what it's supposed to still mean. They didn't change it to be kind and thoughtful, and it's only, y'all know how I be feeling, like the enemy wants to taint things, wants to trick people. That's how you trick people and making people think that they should be nice when really it's foolish to be that way, because you're only going to hurt yourself and possibly hurt others because of your too niceness, too laid backness, too wanting not to speak up, too wanting to just keep the peace. Sometimes now you gotta turn it up. Sometimes you gotta turn it up. It just is what it is. And then let's do the etymology of kind right quick, and then we'll go into everything else. So the etymology of the word kind. So normally kind just means, of character, of good nature, of good character, good nature, great essence, quality. Y'all know I talk about quality a lot. Kindness. That's what that means. So let's do the etymology though. So it says, kind is an adjective too, and kind does have two different meanings, because kind can be considered like people, like family that's like a race. They're similar, meaning similar, sharing something of the same. But in this instance, the adjective, it means friendly, deliberately doing good to others. In the Middle English, kindly or kinde. I think that's what it might say. Like the original word was kinde. And then from Old English, the word was gekinde or gaykinde or gaysinde. I don't exactly know how it's pronounced, but that's the word to say here. And it meant natural, native, innate. So, and I want y'all to remember these words, because when we get to going into the breakdown of like the comparisons of nice versus kind, you're going to see why you want kindness comes from your innate feelings. You're not trying to water something down. Like, of course you want to have tact. You want to have tact, but you want to speak how you really feel. It's innate, natural, like how you naturally feel about a situation, how you naturally feel about someone, instead of suppressing your natural feeling just to keep the peace, even though you're not having peace inside. That person might be, because you don't want to rock the boat, but you're not going off of your genuine feeling, your innate feeling. So remember that it initially meant friendly, deliberately doing good to others, and natural, native, innate, originally with the feeling of relatives for each other. From the Proto-German word kundi, natural, native, from kunjam, family. It says with collective or generalizing prefix ga and abstract suffix ease. Okay. The word rarely appeared in Old English without the prefix, but Old English also had it as a word-forming element, kun, meaning born of a particular nature. Since development probably is from with natural feelings to well-disposed in the 1300s, and benign, compassionate, loving, full of tenderness, and in the latter years. So all in all, it meant kind means your innate feelings, your innate feelings, your natural feelings, how you naturally feel about a situation, and deliberately wanting to do good based on your natural feeling, or whatever it is based off your natural feeling. Not trying to charm your way, because we know charm is deceptive, and people who want to charm you all the time because they want to pretend to be nice, it's not genuine. They're not being true to how they really feel. It's like wearing a mask so they can deceive and get what they want. And a lot of times people that like to charm all the time, they want to get you comfortable. Like we know, they want to get you comfortable, keep you, make sure they suck you in good enough, which is why a lot of times these narcs out here will do love bombing tactics, be so charming in the beginning so that they can get you. And now once your guard is all the way down, they're in, and now they can wreak havoc on you and destroy you like they want to do the whole time, but they came around with their mask on, being a wolf in sheep's clothing like they like to do. Okay, you guys, so excuse my baby because y'all already know I'm always on duty, and yeah, so she ain't got the iPad, so she watching the TV, and then we don't got the remote, so I have to use the remote on my phone. So I'm having to skip the ad or whatever. All right, so just had to give y'all that background. So that's why I might have to stop, and then y'all know if y'all be seeing pauses in the videos and stuff, and it look like it's jumping, it's because I had to stop for this child. All right. So you guys, that's why these people like to, do charming tactics, and it's to get you where they want you to be, so then that they can carry out their plan that they had all along. Which is why you want to be careful. You want to just move cautiously with who you're trusting, with who you're giving your heart to. And most chosen ones, we know their favorite line, I got a big heart. No, baby, you have a good heart. You don't have a big heart, you just have a good heart. And that's something that God gave you. That's why a lot of times, sometimes you want to be mean. You want to really put your foot down and keep it down. But sometimes it's hard to, because your heart posture is not to deliberately treat anyone bad like that, because you're naturally kind. You're naturally kind. You naturally, like we read with the definition, you naturally want to do good to others. Like I said, friendly, deliberately doing good to others. You naturally want to do good to others. You naturally want to treat people the way you would want to be treated, or even better than you treat yourself. Like, you want to do that, but these type of people will take advantage of that. And this is why you must guard your heart. Just like it says in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, guard your heart. That's why I've never been a person to say I got a big heart. No, I have a good heart. My heart is not big at all, which is why I don't just give it to any and everybody. It's sacred. It's special. Everybody cannot just have my heart. Everybody can't have my heart. Sorry. That's why it's really hard. I don't easily fall in love. That's just not, I've never been that way. Now, I might deal with people, talk to people, like people. I've liked many of guys. They were cool. I ain't gonna say, but I was not in love with everybody. My heart is, I keep it, this thing be guarded. The cherubims and they fiery swords surround my heart. It's a special place, because the cherubims protect sacred places, holy places of the Lord. And this is the Lord's heart. And I keep this thing guarded. You're not going to come in and break this thing up. No, you're not. You're not going to come in. Nope. Get somebody else to do it, because I'm not. No. And this is what we want to understand as the chosen ones. You must guard your heart. Everybody don't deserve all of that from you. Like we discussed in that other video, it was like 2 videos ago. I forgot what it was titled. I forgot what it was titled, but I'll link it here. Y'all know the video 2 videos ago. Just in case I don't end up linking it here. But you want to guard your heart. Stop feeling like everybody, like you need to give your heart to everybody, because you desperate for love. You desperate to fit in. You desperate to be liked. So let's go ahead and go over the list. So, Ari, shh. So when you're nice, you never want to rock the boat. But when you're kind, you're willing to make waves. You willing to come in, how about I shake the room? You willing to shake the room a little bit, because you're not going to just go with certain types of flows. You're not going with any type of frequency. If it's not the right frequency, you're like, hold up. Let me bring it back. I'm not going that way. That's not the lane that I'm going. That's not where you're taking me, because I see that it's not settled over there. We're not going that way. So you're willing to speak your piece. Doesn't mean you have to be rude about it, because that's one thing that I am trying to work on. And most times it's just because I speak from how I feel. Especially being a woman, we feel everything. We're feelings. We just operate in feelings, and but all of us have feelings. Men have feelings. Women have feelings too. We all have the sixth sense of feelings, which is why you can feel when it's hot. You can feel when it's cold. You can get next to a stove. You can get next to an oven and never touch it. But because you feel the heat coming from it, you feel it. You have pores in your skin to feel things. When you touch someone else, they feel your touch. They feel your touch. Even things when you physically don't touch anything, you just feel it. But a lot of us are not in tune with those feelings. You don't have to touch the air. When you go outside, the air, you feel the air. That's how you know if it's hot, if it's cold, your feelings. But a lot of us are not in tune with our feelings, and that's what this season is about. It's about getting in tune with your feelings, addressing them. Stop hiding from them, running from them, suppressing them. No, feel it. Feel it. But don't marinate in it. Don't marinate in all of those depressive feelings, mad feelings. No, you deal with it. You have to literally process it, break it down. Why am I feeling this way? What happened? What triggered me? Where did that come from? Like a lot of my feelings, like especially, like I told y'all in that last video, which I didn't really go all into it, but that man triggered me with talking about narcissistic folk. It triggered me because I know that I'm a very selfless person. So for you to try to insinuate, and even though he didn't say it directly, but he was talking his trash and looking, I peep game. I'm hyper vigilant. I examine the whole room. Every room I'm in, I'm examining it and I'm seeing it. And I pick up on things because I'm empathic. I can feel other people, whether it's good or negative. Even at like this like charity event, people that's supposed to be helping, like you can just feel, you just feel it, especially with us being black, with me being black. When I'm around certain white folk, you can feel the energy. Sometimes you can feel the good energies of other people. Sometimes you can feel the bad energies. And with this one like lady, even though they were helping out with the stuff, it's like you just felt like, I can feel you, sis. I can feel that you feel the type of way a little bit. I can feel it. But I don't gotta necessarily address it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care. I'm only here for a short time, not a long time, baby. I'm never going to see you again. So I do not care to address certain things. But certain things like that, man, I know I'm a very selfless person. And I know you're a bit, like, for one, I need to check you because you're a man. And not only that, you a white man. So for you to think that you entitled, for me, y'all know the history between us, between white and black, period. You know the history. So you got to come a little bit correct when you come to me, especially because part of my purpose is to really talk to my community about who we really are as the chosen people. And that because I know a lot of the truth about the reason why there's the racism, why that really exists, I'm not here to play with them. I'm not here to play with them. I'm not. So I that's why I really went out, child. I was really going, get ready to go. The other man had to say, just ma'am, like, because I already said enough. He was like, and I was like, that was nothing but God using to just chill, because I was chilling, but he was. I'm willing to rock the boat right now. I'm not about to make peace. Let me hold up. Let me teach you. Let me teach you who you talking to right quick, because I don't think you know. I don't think you know, but let me teach you. And he shut himself right on up. Humble yourself. That's what you needed to do. But anyway, so sometimes I'm chill. Sometimes no, I'm gonna rock the boat right now because that's not okay. And that's exercising righteousness. Righteousness is about judgment. It's about having judgment and exercising judgment. Justice. That's literally what it's about. It's about moral compass, knowing right from wrong. And when people are wrong, they must know that they're wrong, and there are consequences for that. When people are right, you give them they just due. That's what righteousness is about. It's not about being holy, because there's a difference between the holy ones, righteous ones, chosen ones. Most of us in the world, no one is really holy. That means you're truly pure. You don't do no type of sins, even down to your eating habits and stuff, because a lot of people think that they don't sin because they might not cuss, or they don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't fornicate, they don't have sex, but you eat things that God told us not to eat. You do things that we're not supposed to do. You overeat. Like, we all sin. So no one is truly holy. Now, some of us have, have gone through filtration, gone through the purification process. So yes, we are getting cleaned up. God is purifying you, making you clean, making you anew. But baby, some of us is half hood, half holy. Okay. But righteousness throughout all. When you faced with the opportunity to do right or wrong, what you gonna do? And the percentile of that. Because sometimes you know the right thing to do and you still be like, I'm going to do wrong just because I'm operating off the flesh right now. So I'm going to do wrong. And then you be like, I got to repent later. But you don't even want to make that a habit. You want to more so choose to do right. Face, when you having that battle with the enemy and you fight, you under temptation, you want to really try hard to fight against that temptation that the enemy is trying to get you to do by going off the flesh. Okay. So the next thing, nice people, when you want to be nice, you're more concerned with not upsetting someone versus being kind. You're more concerned with doing what is right, exercising righteousness, based on how that innate feeling that you get. You exercise, you're doing what's right, justice, like these judges have to do. They're not caring about upsetting somebody. They're caring about doing what's right. At least they're supposed to. And baby, if I was a judge, sometimes I think I want to, I don't know, it might be in my future. I don't know. Sometimes I really want to be a judge. I know I'm the judge of Israel. I'm the judge of the Black community. And y'all know we are Israel. Well, we are the house of it. We Jacob, but we Judah, but it's all still Israelites. We the children of Israel. Because we the chosen people. So if y'all don't know, and I think when I start really talking about that, like doing the in-depth of that, I'm gonna make another channel about that. But I'm working on that stuff behind the scenes. So I'm not doing many videos on that because I gotta focus on the chosen thundering. I gotta focus on the chosen ones within the chosen race first. So you exercise judgment. And that's what I was about to say, because I really do. Like, it's certain things out here. Let me be. If I've been this country, it would not be out of order like this. I assure you that these it's certain people. Let me be the judge, especially these Chesters out here. Oh yeah. Oh, you want to be a whoremonger, do you? You want to mess with the children, do you? Let me teach you something. Let me teach you. You won't have no thing. It's gonna get cut right on off. Whatever. I'm be eye for eye, tooth for tooth, for real. But you do have to. And two, I do believe in second chances. It depends on what it is. Everybody deserves a second chance because we all gonna mess up. Because a lot of times we move off of ignorance, so we don't know. And then once you do know, it would be different. And even how like these jails operate, these prisons and stuff, it would be true rehabilitation. There's no reason that you stuck in a place for many years and you don't come out improved. Just know if I was the real judge, baby, or one of these politicians, stuff would be different. So I might end up running. Y'all never know. Y'all might see me one day running for mayor. But anyway, so the next thing, nice people are afraid to speak up when they witness unkind behavior. But kind people are willing to speak up and take a stand. And most of the chosen ones, you witness things within your family and you kept it, because that's what they tell you. The demonic people, they say, shh, keep it a secret. This is what goes on in the house, stay in the house. What goes on in our family, stays out in our family. You don't tell the family secrets. even though the family secrets are killing the whole family generation to generation. And then in turn, we go out and pollute the world because we've been so polluted in the house. Now we're going on polluting other people's children and other people's kids and everybody. We're going on polluting the world, polluting the workplace because of those secrets that are brewing inside, those feelings that are brewing inside from those secrets and from all the wickedness that's been going on in the house. And now it's affecting the world, which is why 80% of American families are dysfunctional. And that's another thing, because I read something not long ago about like Americans loving toxic movies, like these horror movies and like super sexual movies and all of that. Because I realized this is something this is an observation. I realized people love toxicity. If you look online, when you trying to teach good stuff, a lot of people don't want to hear that. Or if you're teaching truth, they don't want to hear that. But let it be some negativity. Let it be something so overly sexualized. Let it be something toxic. Let it be people on there gossiping, talking trash about you. I realized that if you real gutter with it, you really get more views and attention. People like that negativity because a lot of people are in a negative space mentally and spiritually. So that's what they're attracted to. Toxicity is normalized here in America. It's okay in America. It's everything, but they like to hide it with these fake nice acts, these deeds that they like to do when they want to show up and act like they're being good people when they know deep down inside or behind the scenes you're not. It's about what you do when you think nobody looking. And that's what righteousness is. You doing what's right even when you think nobody looking. Because guess who's watching you, baby? God is watching, and his servants, the angels, are watching you. They're watching you. That's what they're assigned to do, to watch over humanity. That's what the watchers, the fallen angels, that's what they were assigned to do. And they were watching over humanity. And then you wanted to know the daughters of men. You got frisky with the humans that you were not supposed to get frisky with. You're supposed to be here to lead them, guide them, communicate with them on behalf of God, to lead them to where they need to be. But they got frisky. Okay. And they came up and they formed a cult, because that's what they did. They the first cult, them fallen angels. Samaje and all of them. Well, later on, like as I get deeper into everything, they all came together. That was the first cult. Satan and all his little angels that all fell from grace right along with him because of their wickedness and them wanting to do other than what God told them to do. When you want somebody else's spot and you want to think you running stuff. But anyhow, so like I said, nice is afraid to speak up when they witness unkind behavior because you don't want to rock the boat. So you willing to be quiet because I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to mess up the family. I don't want to break up the family. I don't want to do this. I don't want this. So you willing to just be passive about things that's actually hurting the children, hurting the family, but you willing to be quiet and not say nothing. You don't want to upset your partner. So you don't really speak how you really feel. You sit there and just suffer in it and suffer. And it takes toll on you. And you can see, and when you see people out here, like, just the body language, even my neighbor, like, I don't know if she a witch, but her energy is just so low. Like, it's like her husband, his energy not as low as hers, but he's better. And that's a whole nother thing. Because when you, it's always that one. Sometimes you find like a couple that's, both of them are cool, but most times it be just one. Sometimes you got the man that's cooler than a woman, and then sometimes you got the woman that's cooler than a man. But I meet more cool guys when it comes to this, especially like around here. The women, they be just, well, too. Y'all know how women are. That's a whole nother thing. We ain't even gonna talk about all of that in this video. But it just be funny. But thing too, like, because women they just always got issues. It just be like, what is your deal? I don't even know you. I'm not no threat to you because, baby, trust me, I don't want your man at all. So, but then too, it be that anointing. And then too, for me and us that's black in this white world that they think is the white world anyway, they be seeing you as a threat. Like, what are you doing? First of all, what are you doing around here? Baby, I'm the chosen one. I go as I please, and my angels encamp with me wherever I go. So, but as kind, you're willing to speak up and take a stand for what's right. That's why a lot of us, we have that savior complex. We want to save people, and we want to get justice. We want to get justice. All right, y'all. This baby, she didn't hit her head, so now of course she need a kiss. Every time she hurt her little stuff, any little minor inconvenience, she need a kiss, and it just make it feel all better. It's cute though, it's cute. But anyway, y'all. So nice people like to people please, but when you're kind, you treat yourself and others well. You're not just seeking to please everybody else and then you're left without nothing. Like, it's even like when you shop for your kids and you shop for the family, you also get you something too. You doing everything, the family is good, include that me time for you too. All right, I done tended to my man for the day, or I done tended to my woman for the day. I done gave you some good lovey-dovey and some attention. I done gave the kids some attention and took them out and had fun with them and bonded and talked. We didn't laugh, we didn't play, all right, now it's time for me. Bye, you guys. Get out my face for a little bit. This is my hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours to myself for my self-care. Okay. So lack of healthy boundaries. When you're nice, you lack healthy boundaries. But when you're kind, you're mindful of your personal boundaries. You have boundaries. You have a threshold for how much you're willing to take. And you're not going to take so much to the point that it completely depletes you. You're not going to let people run you dry and take everything that you have and leave you with nothing. And now they've came around and taken all your energy, taken all your resources, taken all your light, taken everything that you have. And now you're dark, you're depressed, you're left with nothing. You're left with no money. You're left with no resources. You're left with no happiness. You're left with no peace. They didn't strip you from your spiritual being. Like, they're literally taking everything from you to the point where you feel like, I'm just alone. Oh, everybody just takes advantage of me. That's because you have a lack of boundaries. You must learn how to say no. If you really don't want to do it, say no. What they gonna do? Okay? So yeah, that's a big one. You have to have boundaries with your parents. Boundaries, especially when like you're in relationships and you have those overbearing parents, especially if your parents, y'all know, especially having narcissistic parents, and if they don't have the love that they desire to have, or even if they in relationships and they want too much, those parents who are too in their children's business, like their adult children's business, boundaries must be placed with those type of parents. If you are that type of parent, which if you are the chosen one, 9 times out of 10, we don't do stuff like that. But if you are, because like I said, as chosen ones, because of all the hurt and betrayal that we endure, we can cross from being that empathic person to coming over to having some highly narcissistic traits, because once again, you're raised by narcissistic parents, or you've been around narcissistic family, or you had narcissistic lovers. So you have taken on some of their traits because that's what you've been around. That's what you've been around. So having healthy boundaries, you must learn to have those boundaries. You can't be afraid of who you're going to hurt by telling how you truly feel. You have to be honest with yourself and be honest with others, because when you're not honest with yourself, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to do yourself a disservice, because you're going to continually let your own self down. And you don't have to worry about nobody else letting you down, because you letting your own self down because you have no boundaries. You have no requirements. So if you have no requirements, what can someone live up to? You don't have the requirements set. When you go to a job, there's requirements that you must meet. And if you don't, You will get fired. You will get demoted. When they hire you at these jobs, you have to meet their expectations. Or what good are you doing here? That you're not serving the business needs. You must understand that your needs do matter. You are human. You have feelings. Your feelings matter. Your needs matter. And a lot of times, this is why y'all know I'm pro kids' feelings matter, because a lot of times the adults that we become, it's only because of the children that we were, the things that we endured as children. And a lot of these people felt like kids' feelings didn't matter because kids are just objects, just like they think women are just objects. They think women are just there for their own, for whatever they need them there for. And even men sometimes think that women, we only see them as objects. And they, a lot of men feel like men aren't loved unconditionally. They only love if they can do something. They only love if they can provide money and things. And we all have, it goes both ways. You got women that feel like that about the men. Oh, all you want before is everything I can do because I can cook for you, because I can please you sexually, because I can take care of your kids. And then men think, oh, all y'all want me for is so I can pay everything. I can't just get love unconditionally. So it goes both ways. But what both parties got to understand is that we both play a role. Nobody is here to just do nothing. You're supposed to serve a purpose here. That's what you're supposed to do. Both parties have needs. And when you truly love and care about someone, you want to tend to their needs. You want to tend to each other's needs. And then tend to your own as well. Because sometimes you can't get everything you need from external sources. It comes from within. It don't matter how much someone else thinks that you're beautiful. If inside you don't feel beautiful, it doesn't even really matter what they say, because your insecurities is always going to play out. And we'll talk about that in a self-sabotaging video. Because that's, I don't know if I'm gonna drop that one next or that's gonna be before that, because I'm gonna record both of them, I think, today. Well, that one today too. So these are things that you want to consider. You need to have these boundaries. So the next is avoiding uncomfortable feelings. Nice people like to avoid uncomfortable feelings. But when you're kind, you are clear, have direct communication, even when uncomfortable. Sometimes things in your relationship, especially in your relationship or with your parents, because you don't want to seem disrespectful. You don't want to seem like you don't appreciate them providing for you, and all the hard work and the suffering that they went through and all the sacrifices that they made. You know how they like to do all the everything I've done for you. Baby, that's what you're a parent. That's what you were supposed to do. Your kids did not ask you to bust it wide open and bring kids into the world. This is what we must understand. Yes, our kids should still respect us, but they need to be respected too. They did not ask to be here. Your horniness got them here. Your need for whatever you were doing, why the reasons why you had children. A lot of people have children and don't really want to be parents. They do it because it's a sense of stability to have a partner, to have children. It makes you seem like you've accomplished at least something in life, but you don't have a genuine desire to parent, to be in tune with someone else's feelings, someone else's needs. This is why a lot of us are so empathic, because we had narcissistic parents that did not give a dang on about our needs. They thought our only needs was making sure we had food, shelter, water, juice, go to school, have some clothes to go to school, even go on, some vacations sometimes, if that, because some parents never did that for their kids either. They thought that was it, but they never cared about the day-to-day. It's about the day-to-day, and it is a whole job to be a parent, because it's every day. Every day you got to show up. Just like in relationships, every day you have to show up. This is work. This is a job. You have to show up every day. It doesn't stop when you turn 18. I don't understand it. First of all, I don't understand people who say this, because you legally are still eligible to be on your parents' insurance until you are 26 years old. You're still on there till 26 years old, because your frontal lobe has not fully developed. 18-year-olds are stupid. I don't know why they say that you're a legal adult at 18. At 18, I did some of the most stupidest things at 18. I was responsible. I've always been mature for my age. But there's a lot. At 18, what I know now, I did not know at 18, many 18-year-olds don't even know how to properly wipe themselves. They don't know how to properly clean. They don't know proper hygiene. You got grown folk that don't know proper hygiene. Grown women don't know to properly wipe front to back. Don't know how to properly do a lot of things. How are you grown at 18? You think at 18 you're supposed to just give your children to the world? And then when they do make mistakes, you're ready to criticize everything that they do. You fed them to the wolves at 18. Act like that your job was done. I did my part. Parenting is everlasting. We're grown. And God still is our parent. He's not taking his hand off us because we 30, 28, 29, 58, 78, 88, like 108. He's not taking his hands off of them. Noah and them was up to 900 years old and stuff. And he still had his hand on them. They still needed the Lord. You still need the Lord. My grandmother died at 104, and guess what? She still needed the Lord. You still need your Heavenly Father. So why do these parents out here think that your job is not done at 18? Because guess what? Now your kids are going to have kids. You got to be there for those kids. Don't mean that you have to take on all the bulk because you raised yours, but you're still supposed to have be the village for your kids. This is why it's so messed up now, especially with the what generation is my mom? I think she's like Gen X. What are they? Them 1960s, baby. Them 80s. Them babies, the parents that grew up during the crack era, that generation is screwed. They think that they said to hell with parenting. I'm ready to live my life. I'm not doing no grandparenting. So, anyways, y'all, you want to be clear about how you're feeling. And a lot of us feel we can't even talk to our parents to let them know. That's what, why I got into the big situation with my mom. I'm like, I tried to come correctly and, let you know that I felt neglected. I didn't feel like you were attentive to my needs. And she felt like she provided everything. I paid for this. I paid for you to be in hair school. I paid for it. I pay, payola, money. They think the money. Their God is money. So because their God is money, they think that that's the answers for everything. And as long as they spent money, that's it. They don't care about your emotional needs. You didn't care about things that I was actually going through mentally, what I was going through, if I was going through anything in school, not even paying attention. Like, you didn't care about even just doing the small things. It's just like living in a house, people barely even home. Most of the time, just I'm home alone. And when you are there and you ain't giving a dang about what I'm doing, what I got going on, ain't coming to talk to me, ain't none of that. And this is why, for me, I just move much differently with my kids. Like, I'm a bond with my kids. Yes, there's times I got to be working. I can't be sitting here with you all day, but I'm going to make sure that I schedule time so that I'm talking to you. We can interact. Let me know what was going on with your day, what's going on. And then they wonder why you're so private, because you ain't never had the door open to just be, you ain't never cared about what was going on. Because you felt your job was done. I provided things, and that's it. So when I tried to talk to her when she was down here, when we first got to Texas, and we got into a whole big blow up because I said I felt neglected. And she feels like, how dare you feel neglected when I paid everything? You lived in a nice house. You did not go without water. You did not go without this. Okay, so, but out of the kindness of my heart, I'm being clear of how I felt. I'm being clear with how I felt. And then now the boundaries are in place, which is no contact. Even though my daughter is with her right now. And I have no problem with that. As long as you do right by my kids, I know that she loves my daughter. Like, she loves my daughter. And, You know, that's her favorite. You know, they have favorites. That's one of her favorite grandchildren. And I don't have no problem with that. You know, it is what it is. I know she ain't gonna hurt my baby, and I let her, you know. Well, her dad, that's her dad talks to my mom. So when she goes down there with her dad lets her see my mom, you know, and I don't got no problem with it. It is what it is. But I'm not dealing because until people make the changes that they need to make, for one, the trust is broken. The things that was said, the things that was done, and you know, if both parties speaking their feelings and this is how you really feel about me as your child, and you putting the blame on me for the reason why you like child, those videos is on the page. So if y'all want to know all that, y'all better go back and find the videos. But anyhow, when you have this clear, direct communication, even when it's uncomfortable, that's what kindness is. You're not just having these feelings and not saying nothing because you don't want to upset them. You walking, if you find yourself walking on eggshells a lot with people and you just don't really want to upset them, you need to become brave, become bold, stop being afraid of who you're going to lose and what you're going to lose if you say this thing. You need to speak up, especially if you're a parent and it's affecting your children. Because a lot of children have resentment to their parents, not even to, maybe initially it wasn't to both parents, but because normally when there's a narcissist and then there's normally narcissists are with empath of partners. It just, because narcissists love empaths, and then empaths love narcissists until you get beat up so much by the narcissist, then you're tired of the narcissist. That's a whole nother video, but it's that supply and demand that both parties play, especially initially in the beginning. Because in the beginning, a narcissist makes you feel so seen because they love bomb you, they buy you these nice things, and they spend a lot of time, and they do everything to get you where they want you to be. And then it's like, all right, let me show you who I really am. And by that time, you already sucked in. So now you're seeking that supply from them that they was giving you. And the supply that you give them is doing whatever they want, whatever they say, just boosting their ego, stroking it, making them feel like they're the king or queen of the world. You're all of that. So there's like you become binded, but you want to speak up how you feel. You tell even with my children, I tell my children, with my daughter, my older daughter, speak how you feel. Don't be sitting what do you gotta say? Don't worry about who you gonna make. Don't worry about making me mad. Don't worry about making daddy mad. Speak how you truly feel. And she know me. What if you feel the way? Let it be known. Let it be known. And then, you know, of course, sometimes dads can be a little intimidating, but baby, let me know, because I'll tell him, your daddy know I'm not scared of him. So he don't want no smoke. It's like, no, let me stop. But for real. And that's why I make sure she know. Don't ever be afraid to tell mommy anything. Because if mommy don't know, mommy can't protect you. And because I felt unprotected in a lot of situations, because I've always had to defend myself and fend for myself, because a lot of things my mom never even knew about that has happened to me and that was going through, because I didn't feel comfortable to even to tell you. You didn't care. You didn't come ask. And I have a don't ask, don't tell policy kind of. You don't ask about these things. I don't just tell you these things. Even with like my friends and stuff, if you don't really ask about it, I don't feel the need to just tell you about certain things. Like, you know, even in relationships, if they don't ask these things, I don't just volunteer all the information. You know, so you got to be clear and direct with your communication, no matter who it is. Even in the workplace, if it's something bothering you, let your manager know. If you don't like how somebody is treating you, let that be known. Because we are all humans. Every human deserves respect, common decency, kindness, love, generosity, patience. We all deserve these things. And people need to learn to treat others how they want to be treated. If you wouldn't want someone doing that to you, why would you do it to someone else? And then when it's done back to you, understand that, hey, you've done it to someone before too. And even as chosen ones, you got to understand that just because you're chosen don't mean that God not going to send karma to come back and bite you, because you must reap what you sow. It don't matter if you're the chosen one, the holy one, the righteous one. It don't matter. You must reap what you sow. You must reap what you sow. And I realized that too. I be like, because I get it. I get mine back. That's why I be like, all right, it's all good. Fair game. You know, it's called, like, it's cool. I take my L's with grace. Like, take them with grace. I be like, all right, you got me. All right, I deserve that, because I remember I put that energy out. All right, it's cool. Charge it to the game. One thing about me, I'm going to charge it to the game every time. I ain't sitting back, why me? No, I was like, okay. I see this. I seen this before, but I was on the other side of it before. So it's all good. You know, and that helped you to have forgiveness for other people and have compassion for other people, because it's like, okay, I see, like, I've been here before, but I was just on the other side. So let's move on, because my phone's about to die. All right, so the next thing is, nice people they have a need for approval and validation from others. You have a desire to get validated from other people. You don't feel good about yourself unless someone else is telling you that. And even then, you still don't really, if you don't feel it within, that's why it does not matter. Like I said before, it does not matter if someone tell you, you this, you that. You're a great speaker. You're a great teacher. You're a great artist. You're a great parent. You're a great whatever you do. You're a great stylist. Whatever it is that you do, a great mechanic. If you don't feel like that inside, it doesn't matter what they're telling you. You're like, oh, I am. Oh, no, I'm not. If you're the type of person who people give you compliments and you be like, you can't even take compliments, it's because you have a insecurity inside and you don't feel like that inside. So when people tell you that, it's like, really? You don't see that for yourself. And that's a part of your development. As you grow, and this is what we want to be doing as chosen ones, because a lot of times we have had very low self-esteem, and sometimes we still do have low self-esteem. And sometimes because we have not fully tapped into our identity and we don't know who we are, we don't know who we are in Christ, we don't know who God created us to be, we don't feel like that. We don't see ourselves as that. But this is why you must go through your pruning process. You know, so we'll do a separate video about that. I've done videos about, you know, I think anyway. You know, but that's the purpose of your wilderness season, so God can give you identity. This is the purpose of you going into isolation, because that's when God want to give you identity. God wants you to know what he thinks of you, not what mankind thinks of you. He don't even care what you think of you. He wants to show you who he thinks you are, what he created you to be. Because you don't know who you were created to be, which is why most of us out here are lost in the sauce. We don't know whether we're coming or going. We don't know what we're here to do. We feel like life is just devoid of meaning. We just living day to day because we don't know who we are. We don't know what we call here to do. And even if we know what we call here to do, we don't really know how to start doing it, how to get it done, because we got insecurities that's stopping us. Many of y'all are called to speak. You're called to be a prophet. You're called to use your voice. I tell y'all this all the time. As the chosen ones, you're called to speak. You're called here. God ordained you in the belly to call. He called you, he ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. Like he told Jeremiah, I gave you the power to speak. Like he said Moses. Moses too. Moses didn't think he was qualified. This is why y'all got to be reading your Bibles so you can see that all the chosen ones in the Bible, the ones he chose to carry out certain missions, he chose them for certain things. They too didn't think they were qualified. I don't have the speech. Moses said, how you calling me to lead your people? I got a speech impediment. I got speech issues. I can't speak. Some people think because I can't read. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Look how successful he is using his innate gift that God gave him. Even though people like to say he's illiterate and can't read and can't write, guess what he can do? He can box, and look at him. multimillionaire or billionaire. I don't know what status he is. But look at him. It doesn't matter what you think you lack. Like I was saying, Moses didn't think he was qualified to lead them people. God said, I chose you. Moses said, get Aaron to do it. Get my brother Aaron because he could speak well. No, God said, I chose you. You're going to be the one. You're going to speak. You're going to tell Aaron, and Aaron will translate to them. Y'all going to work together. But you're the one that I'm going to have come up on Mount Sinai with me. You the one that's going to spend time with me. You the middleman between me and Aaron. Aaron ain't getting direct access to me. You are. You come spend time with me. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put my words in your mouth. You can write. I gave you the ability to write. You might not be able to speak clear, but you can write. And get up here, write what I'm saying, write these commandments down, take them down off the mountain, go show them to the people, go tell them to the people. You're going to have Aaron to translate it to the people. You're going to speak it to the people. I'm going to give you the voice to speak. They're going to be able to understand you. You think that you're not qualified for things. You can do it. Speak. Okay? So that's what a lot of y'all call here to do. You're called here to get on YouTube, make a YouTube channel, make a platform to speak your piece, but you're afraid to show your face. You're afraid that you can't speak. You're afraid that you don't got the words. You're afraid, baby. Fear is not your portion. You need to go watch the video about overcoming anxiety and depression. Fear is not your portion. Stop being afraid of what you can't do. Because if God called you to do it, if he's urging you to do it, a lot of times you already feel it in your spirit. It keeps coming back. No matter how many times you try to push those feelings or that voice to the side, try to push that to the side. Nah, you got to do it. That's why it's heavy on you. And you get a feeling, I feel like I should do this. Or I want to do this. And because God is urging you, he's pushing you, and then he's positioning people in front of you to encourage you, to teach you. He's putting a word in front of you. But you're not believing in yourself. He wants you to start believing in yourself. So we're going to do that in like a whole, we'll talk about that. We'll be talking about all of this. But you must believe in yourself. Stop looking for validation from everybody else. You only need validation from the Lord. If the Lord called you here to do it, I mean, I go through it too. I'll be like, I'm not, like, especially when you just now start like reading the Bible and stuff, you be like, I'm not qualified to speak on this. But Revelation 7:17, for the Lamb, I'm going to put the scripture up here. Let me see if I can flip to it right quick. It doesn't matter. I remember when he first was showing me those numbers. And I'm like, why am I keep seeing 7:17? And it was, and then when I found the Bible verse for it, 7:17, it's for the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them and shall lead them to the living fountains of the water, and God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes. And that was basically meaning for the Lamb. The Lamb is the baby. The Lamb is the baby sheep. It's the baby that's, I believe, under 1 year old. 1 year old and under. The baby. So even if you've been on this walk only for 1 year, y'all know I'm in my second year. I'm still fresh in this. But even back then, when I first got to Texas and I started talking my stuff, they call you a baby in Christ. They call you a baby. You a baby in this. So who are you to think that you could teach something? But it's in his word. For the Lamb, for the baby is going to be the one that lead the people to the fountain flowing of the living waters. What it say? Let's go back. But it said, yeah, for the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them. The baby is going to feed them what they need and lead them to the living fountains of waters. The baby, and this is what he got me doing. He got the baby up here leading people to God, telling people about God, and telling them how to renew their spirit in God, renew their mind in God, renew everything about them through diving into spirituality to go from survivor to thriver, because that's what I'm here to do. Teach the black sheep, bring the black sheep out of darkness, bring all the underdogs out of darkness, show you who you are, teach you to go to God to get your identity. I, as the baby, leading them to the Lord so that the Lord can fill you up. And the Lord shall wipe away, it says, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. So yes, he will use the baby. Yes, he will use you even though you knew in this. Yes, it's just because you just now born again. That's really what it's about. When you born again, because you got to be reborn. You can't enter the kingdom of heaven. You can't enter the kingdom of God even as the chosen ones until you're born again. He got to wipe you away from those things that's been plaguing you, that's been hurting you, that's been keeping you, that's been hindering your anointing. And this is why I say we're doing these videos, because I'm telling y'all what's hindering your anointing, what's preventing you from truly tapping into who he created you to be. This is to get your identity back. God give you identity, not the world, not your parents, not the school systems, these degrees, this stuff it don't really matter. This stuff don't give you identity. The Lord give you identity. If you have one of these, any type of certification, and you don't have the Lord, futile. It means nothing. It's just a piece of paper. Don't mean nothing. It matters about the credentials that the Lord give you. Spent 4 years, even though this still is necessary. What I went to school for business is necessary because it's just in a different lane. I'm not gonna say my degree went in vain because I learned a lot being in college. And I'm still about business. I care about business. I'm always going to be in my entrepreneurship bag. I'm always going to be focused on being a self-employed, working for self, being in my own business, not just trying to run nobody else's business. But God had to send me on a different route. Instead of selling other things that I thought I was going to be selling and prospering in that, he called me to a new lane. He changed the route up. He took me off of that route and put me on this route. And now this is what we're doing. And that's what he wants you to do. A lot of y'all think y'all supposed to be doing the same things that the world does, that you see everybody else, that you got to find one of those regular talents. Now, you call here to use your voice. In these days, we in the last days, y'all see so many false prophets up here talking they riffraff, and all these people that's talking, they selling hopes and dreams. God not here to just sell you a hope and a dream. If he give you a hope and a dream, baby, it's going to become a reality. But there's steps you need to take. So what he wants you to do is get up here and speak whatever he's telling you to speak, so that you can lead from those dreams to being reality. But you're not just up here to speak like these false prophets. They just speak in empty prophecies that'll never come to pass. They speak in things that God never said. Just like now, all they talk about is kingdom marriage, and they talk about money. Everybody's going to be wealthy and money. They're not teaching what really needs to be taught. They're not prophesying what God is really saying. They're not prophesying about repentance. They're not prophesying about the things that's really hindering the world. They're not talking about those things. This is how you can know a false prophet. If these people don't ever speak about real things, it's like, what y'all talking about? People are destitute out here, and all y'all talking about is money. These same rich folk out here are destitute, and they have millions of dollars. People need the Lord. They need healing by allowing the Lord to heal them. They need healing. You think you need money out here, baby. You need healing. No matter how much money you have. Because all you're going to do is get yourself in even more treacherous situations with the money if you have not healed certain habits that you have. So anyways, needing approval from others is nice. See, I didn't get into a whole, one thing about it, I always end up preaching. I always end up going into a whole sermon. But saying yes, then feeling regret. Okay, so nice, like we said, you need is the need for approval and validation from others. But kind is being true to your own values and feelings. You stand true to who you are. You know your principles. You stand on what you stand on. You're not teetering and tottering for nobody. It's they either get in line with your programming or they gotta go. You're not settling for anything just because you're desperate for love, you're desperate for acceptance, you're desperate to fit in. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. Okay, so the next thing, saying yes, then feeling regret and resentment later. Nice people say yes when they really want to say no. And then you feel you regret it later. All because you got that people pleaser in you You don't want to, start nothing. You don't want to make nobody else feel bad. You don't want to, you're doing that stuff, saying yes, when you really want to say no. You don't want to. You don't want to do that. And even though with God, a lot of times within your lane, because when he call you into your gift, especially if you call to be a servant or be a prophet, baby, it's gonna be a lot of stuff you ain't gonna want to do. He gonna have you speaking words that, oh, you really want me to say this? This is why a lot of false prophets, they say all of this good stuff. Like, that's why I say I can't watch a lot of videos online, because it just be like, bunch of fluff. Oh, I'll tell you what you want to hear. Dang, y'all ain't telling nobody nothing that they really need to hear. All y'all want to do is make everybody just feel so special, so special. No, it's things that people really need to do. You might be special, but baby, there's things that is hindering you. Ain't about just making you feel good or telling you, you're just gonna be rich. Oh, it was that other person's fault. It was never your fault, even though you done been through 5 marriages, but it was never your fault. Dang, it's always been the other person's fault. It's never been your fault. You lose everything in life. You lose everything that comes your way, but it's everybody else's fault while you take all the losses. So you don't gotta take no accountability, huh? That's a whole nother different video when we talk about accountability. But saying yes, then feeling regret and resentment later. That's what nice people do. Kind people, you say no when you're at your limit or when you need a break. You know your limit. You have a boundary. You have a threshold. And when it reached that, nobody get to go over there. You don't care about how you feel. You don't care about if they hurt your feelings, if they call you a prude, if they say you stuck up, oh, you think you too good, oh, you think, man, okay, talk is cheap, baby. Keep talking over there. You still ain't about to get what you want. You're still not going to get, the answer is still no. I said what I said, and that's what I meant. Okay? So when you become empowered, you're going to learn, man, no gonna be your best friend. Even with your kids, because I realized that too. Like I said, now I would tell them kids no. And when I tell them kids to stop doing, I said what I said. I'm not here to people please anybody. No more. That's done. That's done. Because I'm not going to hurt myself just to help everybody else. But when the shoe's on the other foot, y'all don't care that I'm struggling. Y'all don't care that I'm by myself. Y'all don't care that I need help too. And when you always want to be that strong one that show up for everybody, especially when you're the strong friend or when you're that strong significant other, they'll let you just sit there and be strong. Not knowing that you too have weak moments, you too have weak days, not knowing that you too need help. That's why, yes, I'm letting you know these days, I'm not being with nobody who can't help me. As my man, if you're not trying to help grow, you're not trying to help build this empire, baby, you're dismissed. You're dismissed. You need to come to help, not just come to sit around and think you're going to help out with what you want to help out. No, I have needs. You must meet them. Just like you have needs, I must meet them. If I can't meet your needs, I serve you no purpose. If you can't meet my needs, you serve me no purpose. Just like babies have needs, and as parents, you must tend to that baby's needs to get them to feel safe, secure, protected, comfortable. I'm no different. You're no different. We all have needs. We're humans. We have needs. Don't ever try to diminish your needs for the sake of just having something or somebody around. Like I said before, we don't do space fillers. You're here to serve a purpose. You're here to serve the needs. If you can't serve those needs, what are you doing here? You're here to serve, not just for what you want. And that's people's problems. People want to literally love you in their love language, not in yours. I'm not a person who likes a bunch of gifts, but yet you want to just give a bunch of gifts and you think because you spend all your money that you're satisfying my needs. Baby, that's not my love language. That's yours. You're the materialistic one. And that don't mean I don't like gifts, because all the love languages are mine. So people, all of them. So if you don't do all of them, I don't want you. Period. I'm all or nothing. So it's like you do all I need, and that too is my problem a little bit. Trying to find a gray area But that gray area is do everything. Why? I just feel like why is it so hard to fulfill all of them? Why is it so hard to do that? Like, because I can fulfill yours. And I think that's why I carry things how I do, because I know for a fact, because I literally, at heart, I genuinely am a people pleaser, like, because I want to please my partner, not pleasing everybody, but I want to please those around me. But I also, too, have needs, too. So I want you to meet my needs, too. And sometimes I might not want to do what I was doing yesterday. Yesterday, I might felt like rubbing you up, making you feel good. And no, I might have wanted to do that, but today I'm tired and I don't feel like it. And I'm going to say no. And if I don't want to do it today, you want to make me feel bad because I don't want to do it today, but I did it yesterday and I might do it tomorrow or 2 days from now or whatever. And you want to act funny because I'm not jumping when you say jump. But you know, normally when I'm right, when I'm in my right spirit, I'm doing it. And then you mad today because I'm not. Baby, go have a seat. Go have a seat. You must have understanding too. And you must be able to compromise. And you must be able to have empathy for another person, because you know how I feel sometimes when people just not in the mood. And you got to respect that. Respect other people's needs too. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We only got like a couple more. So saying yes, then feeling regret and resentment later. Okay, saying no. So we already said that. So the next one, keeping feelings and needs to yourself out of fear or shame. Nice people keep their feelings and needs to themselves out of fear or shame. You, once again, like we said earlier, you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want somebody to make you feel like you don't want to feel embarrassed by telling your needs. Like a lot of us who suffer from you need help. Now that's why I'm big. I'm not resistant to help. You know, and this is what has been a part of my journey. You know, like I said, me going into isolation, God moving me to Texas was the best thing that ever happened to me. Even though it's been pits and valleys. I mean, peaks and valleys. It's been peaks and valleys in this process, but I can definitely say I've learned how to accept help from all type of people, because all type of people be wanting to help me. I'm no longer like, I got it. And it's so funny because one of the Uber drivers, he was talking about how, because he asked me that I want help with my bags or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, okay, because, you know, some people are too good for help. And it was funny when I was looking in my head, like, yeah, I used to kind of be like that. Like, no, I'm good, I got it. But sometimes I do be like, I don't want to overwork you. But if you're offering it, I'm going to take the offer. Like, I'm not no longer letting my pride get in the way of me receiving the help that I need. If I need the help, okay, let's get the help. I'm learning I don't have to be hyper independent. I'm a woman. I'm supposed to be a little weak. I'm not ever gonna be full on weak, because when you full on weak, people step all over you, walk all over you. You ain't gonna do that. I'm not a doormat, baby. I'm a human with feelings and I'm a human with needs. But there are times where, yes, I do. I want to rest in my feminine. I don't want to have to do all of that. Like, yes, please go. Please get that. Yes, please. Please. Be my guest. Do it for me. That's what I need. That's why I need leader men around me. If you're not no leader, if you don't know how to just do, like, that's why I like I just like men that know how to take the lead and that handle stuff that I don't want to have to worry about that. You worry about that, because that's what you should. I'm the woman. I don't going up in the attic and doing stuff like that. Like, I don't want to have to do that. That's why I say I would never say that we don't need men. We definitely need men, because I always think about this when I see them building up the world. I'm like, thank God for them, because what if we had to get out there and do this stuff? I don't want to do that. I do not want to be building no house and all of that stuff. Now, I don't mind being your helper. You need water? I could pass you a tool. Like, and I don't mind getting hands on sometimes, because, you know, even the men, they need help sometimes. Like, that's what we were created here to be, their helpmate. Not just to just do nothing, just sit around and toot your butt up in the air. And that's the only thing you got to offer. No, you're supposed to be their helpmate in mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of it, in all areas. We're supposed to help one another. We're supposed to get together to make this world a little simpler. It's already hard because we had to build it up. God assigned humans here to carry out his vision, which is to build this place up in the way that he saw fit. So it's hard doing that. It's hard existing out here. So you don't want to be with people who make things even harder for you. That's why I cannot do it. I'm not being around family or nobody who wants to make things extra hard. Baby, life is already hard. You know? So, when you're nice, you keep feelings and needs to yourself out of fear or shame. But when you're kind, you let people know when they've crossed you or when they've crossed a boundary. You let them know how that affected you. You let them know, hey, you disappointed me. You let me down with that. I didn't really like how you did that. I don't really like how you said that. That made me feel away. And I don't really like that. I appreciate if you don't do that no more. And if the person continues to do it, that means they don't really care about you. They don't really respect you. They don't respect your wishes. And if they don't respect your wishes, baby, you got to go. But when you're afraid to let people go, and because people have to have consequences or they won't learn. It's just humans. We have to. Consequences are necessary. That's why I'm about justice. I'm about consequences. Yes, you must have consequences. So you know not to do that again. Just like with her, this 2-year-old, she has to face the consequences sometimes. If I tell you not to do that, okay, go stand in the corner. You don't want to stand in the corner. She hates that. That's the best little punishment. Go stand in the corner. I ain't gonna hit you. I'm not doing all that. You're not about to have me yelling all the time. Go stand your butt in the corner. No. Like, she laughing. You already know she don't like that corner. I even make my 7-year-old go stand in the corner. Or with her, you could threaten to take the iPad. But you and her, I'll just go stand in the corner. Get y'all butts in the corner. When my 7-year-old was younger, I made her stoop down, like hold her arms out and stoop down against the wall. Yeah, go do that. Go stand in that position. Like, y'all want to there's consequences. If I tell you not to do something and you want to not listen to the boundary continuously, there's consequences for it. That's why there's laws in place. That's why God put laws in place. And when we don't obey his commands, his laws, his rules and ordinances, we pay the price for that. And the price we pay for that is spiritual death and physical death. When you do things that God tell you not to do, you must reap what you sow. So yes, you're going to feel when you under these attacks and stuff like that, and you suffering in certain things, and he telling you to stay away from certain people, and you going around these people, and then when those people end up hurting you, that's the consequence of not following the law. Y'all already know, like I've said before, the reason he tell us not to be out here fornicating, doing certain things, is because it leads to certain results. You end up having a baby by somebody you don't really know. You end up having a baby by a person you don't know, and then they end up ruining your life because they take your baby, they put your baby on, put you on child support, they turn your baby against you, or they abandon the baby, because depending on which way it is for men and for women, y'all already know what's really going on out here. But this is the reasons he tell us not to fornicate. This is the reasons he tell us not to do that stuff. Being too freaked out, it's the reasons he tell you that. Not to have abortions, it's a reason he said to not shed innocent blood. Killing people, shedding innocent blood, whether you doing it through the abortions or whether you doing it through taking somebody else's life. Because when you do that, you're going to be spiritually depleted inside. You're going to feel the effects of that, because those demons, when you do certain things, he tell you not to do certain things, because doing certain things makes you go into covenant with the dark side. And now when you're in covenant with the dark side is going to torment you. It's going to wreak havoc on your spirit. And you wondering why you're depressed, why you have all these issues going on, why you can't sleep, why you're tormented. You signed a deal somewhere along the line. Or maybe, a lot of times our parents signed deals with the devil for generations to come. Generational curse. A generational thing, because the deals that somebody else signed with them out of ignorance, out of not obeying God's laws. That's why when God tells us not to do stuff, it's not because he just want to be some strict parent. It's not because he just want to be some strict parent. It's reason for it. It's to protect you. It's not to not let you have no fun. Because a lot of the fun that all of us have gotten ourselves into is the same very reason why everybody around here fighting demons, battling demons, why everybody around here depressed, why we single mothers, single fathers, why we this, why we that, because you didn't take heed to the warnings that was there. When God was giving you the warnings up front, he probably sent other people to give you the warnings about these people. You ain't take heed to it. So this is what you get. This is what you get. And I'm going to let you sit in that and learn a lesson in it. Hopefully you learn it. But a lot of times people don't, you know? The next one, allowing harmful behavior in order not to lose someone's love. So just like we said, you don't want to speak your feelings because you afraid to lose someone else. You're afraid that someone else is not going to love you. If I speak this, they're not going to love me. They're not going to want me. You're afraid of you needing the approval and validation of others. But when you're kind, you refuse to enable behavior that harms your nervous system. Kindness, once again, it says, refuse to enable behavior that harms your nervous system. Why would you want somebody to keep hurting you? And that's why you have anxiety, depression, and all of these other things, because you've let other people harm you. And you didn't put those boundaries in place. You didn't say, no, I don't want to do this. You didn't stand up to the enemy. You didn't stand up to them. You let them keep wreaking havoc on you. And this is what I'm saying. As the chosen one, we are here to defeat the dark side. So you have to become bold. Well, guess what? The enemy is going to always be able to use you. And when you're weak as a chosen one, when you're weak, it's easy for the enemy to use you. The enemy only gets in when you're weak and vulnerable. That's the easiest time for him to get in. Because you got doors open. When you're weak, you end up opening doors to fill voids. You got doors open. And he slide right on in like a thief in the night, like the thief that he is. And we know that the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. That's all the thing the thief does. So, kindness, you can put your foot down. You're not going to be an enabler. Anybody that's an enabler is because they like to be nice. They're afraid to lose someone's love because they're so codependent. And they're afraid to lose that person's love because they probably never had, they think that they never had love before. Because you understand that when somebody truly love you, they're not even going to want to just treat you bad like that. Okay. The next is, you know you're nice when you're denying your reality or taking on someone else's reality as your truth versus speaking in your truth. So when you're kind, you stand up for yourself in a compassionate way and you speak your truth and stand up for yourself. You don't let somebody just walk all over you. You're an advocate for yourself. You know, and I think we're going to talk about, we're going to probably talk about that in the identity video. We'll talk about that in a different video, what I was about to say. But you want to learn to self-advocate. If you don't be an advocate for yourself, you can't expect everybody else to. And this is why I know my job here is to be an advocate for the people who can't speak up, afraid to speak. I mean, you can, but you're afraid or whatever your thing is. So you want to stand up for yourself. When you're kind, you stand up for yourself. Being nice, you let people walk all over you like you're a doormat. You deny your own reality, even though you know what you know. But to once again, not rock the boat, to try to fake keep the peace, you just brush it under the rug. Y'all know, especially in this community, brush under the rug. Up, lift the rug up, dust all this crap under there, dust it up, just to not shake the boat. Just to not break up the family. Man, break all that mess up if you got to. Break it all up so you can build it back up on the proper foundation, on truth. Build it on truth. Am I your enemy because I speak the truth? No, I am not. You're your own enemy if you don't speak the truth, because that means you are a child of Satan, because Satan is the father of lies. I'm not going to be a liar like you, because guess what? I am not the enemy's child. I am God's child. So I speak truth. Like he says in his word, I, the Lord, speak truth. I declare what's right. I speak righteousness. Let me go read that little verse for y'all. Hold that right before we get started. Let's end this thing out. Right. I think that was Isaiah. 45. Like it says, Isaiah 45:19. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not to the seed of Jacob, seek me in vain. I, the Lord, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. I declare things that are right. The Lord is a Lord of truth, a Lord of justice. And sometimes there can be no peace until there is war. Because you gotta demand what's yours. That's why y'all really need to be reading the book of Kings and Chronicles. Y'all need to be reading the whole dang on Bible. Samuel too, the book of Samuel. But see what goes on in the world. The land that we have, they had to fight for this land. There's peace sometimes, but there's peace now because they had to fight for it. It's all been fights. You gotta fight for what's yours. You gotta demand your respect. And unfortunately, sometimes you got to get a little ruthless with it. But you more so want to try to do it in a compassionate way because you don't want to provoke others to anger with being ruthless. But one thing I'm realizing, in this world, the world's so toxic that they only understand toxicity. Just like that man. You really was playing, talking your mess because you thought, as long as I was sitting there being quiet. But you keep chatting, and now, hold up, let me go big on big. Let me go big on you right quick. Hold up, because you thought it was sweet. It ain't never sweet, baby. And I realized that with me, because people take your kindness for weakness. That's why it's really hard to be out here and just be super sweet and compassionate, and be nice about things. Because it's like for me, I always got to get rowdy to get the proper response. Even dealing with these stores, when you go to the store, like I don't have these issues all the time. It'd be like every once in a while. I don't just always have issues. I really don't. But the times when I do, and it's like, all right, you trying to play with me, you trying to stop my intelligence, you trying to be lazy. All right, let me turn it up right quick. Not being super belligerent, but let me assert my authority. Let me show you who I am because I'm a nice customer. Like I'm chill. I don't want to make your job hard. If anything, I know how it feels, especially to work in retail, to work even in these call centers. I know how it feels. So I don't want to do too much because I know how it feels. But when I know that you're being lazy, and once again, I know because I've been in there and I know what can be done, baby. I worked in several corporate positions. I know what can be done. So don't sit here lying to me. Because now you get ready to make me, yeah. So let me show you that I'm not stupid. I might act a little slow, but I'm not. I play dumb. I'm not dumb. It takes a smart person to play dumb. A dumb person can never play smart. But when you try to play, let me show you that, I'm not an uneducated customer. I know exactly how business works. I know exactly how call centers work. Understand this. Okay. So the last one is feeling like I need to fix or rescue someone because they need me. That's when you're nice, you got that super saver hoe complex. You want to save everything. Feeling like I need to fix or rescue someone because they need me. You want to save everybody. You want to save everybody. And you wanting to save them, you end up hurting yourself because you start to feel like, dang, all my efforts are going unnoticed. They don't even care. They don't even care everything that I'm doing for them. They don't really care. They don't see my efforts. And then you still end up feeling low in return because you're like, dang, once again, no one is seeing me. No one appreciates me. I'm just here for nothing. All my work is going in vain. But when you're kind, you believe in someone else's ability to do what's best for them. You empower them. You don't try to do it for them. And that's what I tell y'all all the time. I'm not here to do no work for nobody. I'm here to teach y'all the way, teach you grow closer to God. You allow God to take you on your journey. I can help with what I can help, but I'm not holding nobody's hand like you a baby. You grown. If you grown enough to lay down and bust it open for a man or a woman, if you are grown enough and you got kids and you grown enough out here to be all on the internet, if you that grown, you don't need nobody holding your hand through everything in life. You don't need nobody holding your hand. Because ain't nobody hold my hand through everything. I had to go through the motions to get where I am spiritually today, to know the things that I know. I had to take risks. I had to go through the valleys. I had to go down. I had to lose a lot. I had to do all of that. I had to figure things out by myself. I had to take even the free information that was given just off of watching somebody else's videos and apply it to my life. Apply it to my life. Advice that you get from places, even if it comes like to business, you got to take what applies. You got to ask God for that discernment. Ask God for that wisdom. You don't need nobody holding your hand through everything. You need to be a responsible adult. Because if you're responsible enough to get yourself into situations, you're responsible enough to get yourself out with the help of the Lord. He will get you out. But you must do your part. So like I always say, I'm not here to enable nobody. I'm not an enabler. Never been. I'm here to make you figure this thing out, because you feel better too when you can figure things out on your own. You feel better. Even like with children, sometimes they just want to figure it out by themselves. They don't want somebody always running to their need. Men out here, your job, you got to figure it out. Women, y'all women out here that think you're supposed to just do their applications for them, do everything for them. Y'all be the same ones that end up having a lot of resentment in the end when he take everything that you done gave to him and take it and go use it to build something with another woman. You feel bad about that because you did too much. He's a man. These men out here, especially these black men, they're going to continue to suffer until they learn to fear the Lord again, until they learn to get into close connection with the Lord again, because the Lord is who's supposed to be leading these men out here, not the women leading them. The men is supposed to be leading the women, and the women are supposed to be assisting the men in their areas. We got the roles misconstrued, and a lot of our black men are suffering because of the number one thing. They don't fear the Lord. And if y'all watched that Antichrist video that I did, the Antichrist himself said the one thing that the enemy wants is for the black man to be so disconnected from God, because the enemy knows that God created the black man in his image. The black man is the chosen race. We the chosen people. We're the chosen people. So our men is held to a higher regard than any other man on the earth. Not to say that the other men aren't valuable. Why do you think there's such an attack on the black man? Satan doesn't attack things that are not worth the attacks. Satan doesn't attack things that are worthless. He doesn't attack things that have no future. He knows what the future is supposed to be, because he was cool. He knew a lot of the plans because he was up there cool with God. He don't know everything, but he knows a lot, which is the same reason why a lot of things have been given to mankind. Forbidden knowledge have been given because it's betrayal. It was betrayal to God. It was a way to betray him and stab him in the back, to give mankind things that God didn't want them to know. And the one thing that he don't want the black community to know is who we are. And the black man, he does not want the black man to know who he is, which is why a lot of black men have no identity. You can't find identity until you get close with God. That's the answer. That's the secret. That's the big secret. You can't get identity until you get with your maker. Oh, where's that little scripture I had found up here? It was, dang, I don't even remember where I saw that. About woe to his maker. Oh, right here. It said, woe to him that strive with his maker. You don't want to strive with your maker. You don't want to go against your maker. You work with your maker. You need to come to your maker. God created mankind. Like he said here, I am the Lord and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded you, though you have not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west, and that there is none beside me. I am the Lord and there is none else. Okay, you guys. So it probably sounds different now because I had to charge my phone. We can wrap the video up anyway. So this part, don't worry about the sound too much. But I had to charge my phone, so I had to take the thing out. But it says, I'm the Lord and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded you, though you have not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Drop down, you heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down righteousness. Let the earth open and let them bring forth salvation, and let righteousness spring up together. I, the Lord, have created it. Woe to him that strive with his maker. You don't want to strive with the one who created you. You want to work with him because he created everything, and he created you, and he created you here to serve a certain purpose. He created you. He created you. He knows the identity that he gave to you. And a lot of people don't have their identity because you don't have the Lord. You don't have a close relationship with the Lord. And that is exactly why a lot of people out here are suffering, especially our men. That's why they're not, that's why you got so many women that's leading their households. And when women have to be in position to do masculine things, it's not always pretty. We're gonna leave it at that because that'll be a whole nother different topic that we'll have to go all the way into. But this is why you got so many of our men being feminized and so many of our women too masculine. The roles have switched. Like we discussed in the Willie Lynch letter, that was the whole intention. And this is why the enemy does not want the black man to know who he is, does not want the black woman to go. We need to go back to our natural state, the way that God naturally created us to be. But we have, it been all messed up. If y'all watched that Willie Lynch series that I did, we talked about this. So this video didn't got longer than I wanted to be, y'all, and I know it was 3 o'clock, baby, but I'll see y'all in the next video. I hope y'all got something out of this video. I did not mean to make it this long, but child, the Holy Spirit got to come in and got me teaching some stuff. So I'll see y'all in the next video.